there's more optimism now than there ever has been before that an HIV vaccine is possible. There have been 3 vaccine concepts that have been tested for efficacy in humans. And so my first observation is that there have been only 3 concepts tested for efficacy in humans in nearly 30 years of the worldwide effort. First, the VaxGen GP120 protein vaccines that were tested in phase 3 trials in both the US and Thailand, and those were shown to be not effective in high-risk populations. The second concept that was tested was the Merck vector-based Ad5 Gag-Pal-Nef vaccine, also known as the STEP study. That vaccine also showed no efficacy and actually a trend towards worse outcomes in certain subsets of vaccinated individuals. And the third concept that has completed clinical efficacy testing is a prime boost vaccine regimen in which the prime was a canary pox vector made by Sanofi, followed by a boost of the GP120 protein that was used in the first set of studies. And that trial, which has become known as the Thai trial, also known as RV144, showed a 31% efficacy in a large study in low-risk populations in Thailand. And the results of the RV144 study, although modest and although the protection was transient, suggests that the development of a safe and effective HIV vaccine is possible. However, the actual vaccine formulation and regimen clearly needs to be optimized because the actual protective effect is too low to be useful at 31%.
HIV is primarily spread through sexual relations globally. And so to do an HIV vaccine preventive trial, you have to recruit people who are at risk for becoming HIV infected. Ethically, you want to counsel those individuals. You give them condoms, you give safer sex education, and in point of fact, that counseling usually works. Not for everybody, which is why counseling alone hasn't ended the epidemic. So to do a vaccine trial to ultimately prove HIV vaccine works, you need anywhere from 3 to 20,000 people in your study. So to get to the point where you really think a vaccine is good enough to undergo that scrutiny requires a lot of earlier studies.
A phase 1 study, which may study perhaps 50 individuals, often is a 2 to 4 year process between the concept, sorting out the optimal study design, regulatory authority review, as well as initiating a study, enrolling subjects through to a year or the study endpoint, and then analyzing the data.
So a typical vaccine program would often involve several years of basic science preclinical work to validate concepts. In some cases, studies to look in preclinical models to see whether those vaccines are effective, and then a substantial period of time to manufacture vaccine candidates to do phase 1 and phase 2 testing.
And then ultimately field trials where we can demonstrate protection in that those individuals who are vaccinated are less likely to acquire HIV than those individuals who receive placebo or control vaccine. And these studies have to be done in parallel.
So the whole process put together from an initial concept to knowing whether that concept works in humans is a substantial number of years.
As we hope to be successful, with success one has to contemplate the upscaling to the global community, as this is a global problem. It's not a problem restricted to any one community, gender, or population. It really is a problem that affects everyone on Earth, and therefore how does one upscale delivering a vaccine that is potentially efficacious? A problem we look forward to discussing, resolving once we're able to overcome the scientific challenges of how to develop a vaccine that can elicit the appropriate protective responses.